Hi my friends, this is Sergey Gusev, welcome back to this channel. Today I want to show how to paint a nude figure in oils on canvas in alla prima technique. It's going to be quite a quick video, but the full video tutorial you can download from my webpage. Check out the links in the description. We don't have a lot of time to work on the underdrawing or underpainting. I'm gonna work wet and wet in one session, and of course I wanted to block in right away. I'm using paints directly from the tubes, mixing them on the canvas. I picked up a bit of burnt cyan and lemon yellow and work on the big silhouette of the figure. Again, I'm not going to work on the details or make any underdrawing. Use some bright colors, paint in pasta, and have some fun, of course, because this is alla prima. It's a very quick painting. I think I spent about 2 hours, but not more. Therefore, we have a lot of time and opportunities to make experiments, play with colors, textures, work maybe with a palette knife if you want. So try anything you have never tried before. You can even take the paints you have never used in your paintings. So it's a great opportunity to learn something new. Of course, I highly suggest you to paint a lot of alla primas in one session, maybe a few per week. Even though it's a quick painting, it doesn't mean we have to forget everything we have learned. I mean, of course, the basic rules. Remember about the light and shadow, big masses of light and shadow. I mean, the light is going to be cooler and lighter, the shadows are going to be slightly warmer and of course darker. This basic rule we always apply, doesn't matter if we draw or paint and how long we do it. I don't think we need to use a lot of medium in the beginning, maybe at the very end. So I'm painting mostly with the paint directly from the tubes, quite thick. I would say I'm almost sculpting this figure on canvas. So we're working with paints like a sculptor working with clay, for example. We need to construct the figure, work on the volume, on big light and big shadow, and I think it's very convenient to use more paints directly from the tubes and don't use much medium right now. If you want to use medium, you can use it in the backgrounds, because usually the main thing in the painting we paint thicker. In this case, of course, it is a figure, and the background surroundings we can paint thinner. Right now I'm working on the background using some medium. I mix some linseed oil, standard linseed oil with Gamsol, oil thinner. It's a really nice medium which I really like to use for quick paintings and long studies. Of course, remember to work on the big things in the beginning, not details. Don't be afraid of making a kind of mess, abstract mess on the canvas. It's exactly how we work when we don't have time and we have to paint in one session. I'm not showing the source picture in this video. I'm actually not sure if I'm allowed to show nude pictures on YouTube, but of course in the full video you will get access to the source picture in the list of my art supplies, so check it out on my webpage. Right now I'm working on the light of the figure, on the buttocks, on the back, on the shoulder. I remind you that the lights are going to be very light and cool. I mixed white with lemon yellow and a tiny bit of red, cadmium red, or you can use, for example, permanent red. Usually we paint the light thicker than the shadows, and as you noticed, I put a lot of paint on the lights. And then I'm gonna carefully work on the halftones, correct the silhouette proportions. I don't think it's necessary to do any measuring. I do it only visually with my eyes. That's quite enough. I won't suggest you to use a lot of white in the shadows. If you need to make the shadows light, it's better to use some light colors like lemon yellow, maybe ochre, maybe burnt sienna, but not a lot of white, maybe a tiny bit when you need to paint the reflected light, for example. If you use a lot of white, you risk to get muddy shadows. Work all over the canvas, don't stuck in one place, paint the background, then go back to the figure, work on the light and the shadows. We do all of it almost at the same time just because we don't have a lot of time. Again, it's gonna be a quick painting, maybe 1.5 or 2 hours maximum. Close to the end, I'm going to work on the halftones, soften the transitions between the halftones and transitions between the light and shadow. I picked up some pure white from my palette. You know, usually we don't use pure white, but in this case we mostly mix colors directly on the canvas. So of course the white is going to mix up with other paints, and so it's not gonna be pure white anymore. Always compare the skin tones with the backgrounds. In this case, the skin tones are going to be slightly darker than the background. The background is close to white, especially in the lights, but the light parts of the body of the figure are going to be slightly darker. This is very important. Mostly I'm working with bristle brushes. However, at the end I'm going to take a soft synthetic brush just to work on the halftones, smooth them out a little bit, soften the transitions and so on. By the way, make sure the head isn't looking too big or too small. It's better to compare it with the feet. And here you see me painting the lights on the buttocks, working on the toes a little bit. Though again, it's not about details this time, it's mostly about the big things, like the big relationship of light and shadow. Okay guys, I think I'm gonna stop working on this one. If you want to download the full video lesson, just check it out on my webpage. It is available for downloading. I wish you good luck with your own artworks, guys, and see you in my next episode.